boy Fern, and in today's video I'm making a tutorial on how to make distorted beats for Ken Carson and Osamason. You know, like them legiiion type beats and like the shit that was on flexxx music and the shit that was on AGC, kind of like lose it I guess. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. Alright, so first things first, I went to this plugin called Arminator that I have because it has like a lot of weird sounds, and I laid down a pattern that sounds like this. Really no thought behind the pattern. Like I kind of just click buttons in, and there's literally no plugins on here. I just liked how it sounded normally. And then right after that, I laid down this same pattern into Hive, and I used a preset called Arp Big Mouth, and it sounds like this. It just sounds really good. And for plugins, like I just added a high-end amplifier and a low-end like taker outer I guess is what you can call it. And right after these first two melodies, I went into Serum and I found this preset called Lead Hoss, and I laid down this pattern. Very simple pattern, but the sound's like very distorted, so it works. And for this, I took out the low end and I boosted the high end again, because a lot of these beats have like a very prominent like boosted high end, if that makes sense. Right after that, a lot of these beats also happen to have like a high end with like keys, so I went into SRX keyboards. I literally just used the default stereo piano and I laid down this melody. Very bouncy piano melody, and once again I added a EQ that boosts the highs and takes out the lows, and a very simple like very turned down delay just to kind of give it more bounce. Right after that, I went into Serum again, found this preset called Lead Werewolf in this Serum bank, and I laid down a pattern that sounds like this. And it just goes down to the low end. But for plugins on this, I think I just did the same thing. Boost the highs a little bit, and then kind of took down these frequencies because I felt like they sounded annoying. Alright y'all, for the final sound I used a pluck out of my one-shot kit called the Anger Pluck. And if you guys want my one-shot kit, you guys can go to my Instagram at prodfirm, and there's steps on how to get it for free on there. But I laid down this pattern with this one shot. Very simple, and then the same thing, I just boosted the highs, took out the lows again. But yeah, just a very simple pattern overall, like a lot of simple patterns kind of put together to fill out space. And it sounds like this. Kind of just work together and fill out space, and I like when beats kind of sound like that because it makes it sound harder, and it's also a lot easier to layer because you can take out a lot of like things to make the beat kind of have movement to it. Alright y'all, starting out with the drums. For drums on these beats, you kind of just want like simple drums that fill out space, but you also want to leave a lot of space with the drums. Like you don't want it to be like too overbearing, if that makes sense. Like very simple but catchy. The first thing I added was a hi-hat, and I just used a simple one-step pattern that sounds like this. Just fast hi-hats, really. There's like no thought behind that. After that, I went into this Ken Carson kit that I have, and I found an open hat from the song Singapore off AGC, and it sounds like this with the hi-hats. After that, the song Lose It off AGC, it has like this really nice distorted chant that I like to use, and I actually put it down to G4 instead of like where you'd put it normally on C5 because I thought it sounded better. Sounds like this. I just put it on every 8 steps, but I just moved it over like that. After that, I added the snare and the clap that sounds like this. very simple pattern, really. Just just added a few more extra claps in there to fill out space. I added a snare after that. Sounds like this. And that repeats. It's that very like high end snare that you'll, or not that one. Where's it at? This one. That it's very present on the AGC. And then after that, for the last drum element I added this extra hi-hat that sounds like this. Like that, this open hat alone adds like a lot of bounce. So like I'll play it without it, and then with it. Very bouncy. And then after that, I added the 808, and for the 808, I went into this typical 1K kit that I have called Napalm, or no, it's just a 1K stash, and the sample sounds like this. Very distorted and kind of like freaky almost. And I added an EQ to it. I kind of just like took out a little bit of the highs, and I didn't really boost anything. And then for the 808, I added a soft clipper. I usually always turn up the threshold to around here, and usually I boost the low on this knob, but I didn't this time. I just turned up the velocity, and this is what the drums sound like with the 808. A lot of these beats you'll have like the 808 hitting around either like 3 or halfway to 3 or even over that, but like most of the time, because like normal beats hit at like 0, but you kind of want, if you want like that distorted sound, you want your shit to go over that. But yeah, anyways, that's it for the drums, and this is what the whole thing sounds like together. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and very simple tutorial for real. These beats aren't like, don't try too hard on these beats. You kind of just want to throw shit around until it kind of sounds good and just have very simple patterns. But yeah, that's it for the beat. I hope y'all enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.